Hello and welcome back to the studio, everyone. My name is Carson, and as always, this is K2 Productions. Today, I'm going to show you guys how I finish my big armor pieces and get rid of all the layer lines and get them ready to paint and make them look all smooth and stuff like that. So I got this method from a guy named Captain D_Nader. I'll put the link down in the description. I met him through a Facebook group, and I found his YouTube. He's working on, actually, I think he may have finished a 3D printed Shadow Trooper armor. So if you guys want to go check him out, he's got a pretty cool channel. But I learned this method from him. So this is the method I use to fix my disaster that you may have seen if you watched my most previous video. So it's definitely useful for, fixing lots of big bumps and gross things, as well as filling in layer lines. So let's get started.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to grab our wood filler and we're going to grab a couple hefty chunks. And we're just going to add a tiny bit of water and just start mixing. And you may need to add more water later to get the right consistency that you want, but it's always easier to add water later than to try and take away water.
All right, guys, so now I'm going to take my shin piece and paint all my nice milkshake gunk onto it, fill in all the layer lines, and hopefully it'll look really good. And then I do have my other shin piece. I had to splice it together because I had a failed print. You can see it's just kind of tilted off the wrong way because I actually didn't print it in the correct orientation, so I had to sand some bits off of it, but it looks better. It looks pretty good. Like they look pretty close to the same shape, so hopefully no one will notice it. But I have a little bit more serious filling and sanding for this one, so we're gonna start with the milkshake on my good one first. Alright guys, so I finished sanding one of my shin pieces, and I think it's pretty much perfect. I have actually this is the second layer of the painted on stuff that I use. I have my other one and they're drying right now. So I've put 2 layers of the painted on wood filler, and I use like 100 and, let's see, 220. I used like 100 and 220 grit sandpaper to sand this down, and now everything is like really smooth and perfect. It's pretty much completely covered, as you can tell. There's no layer lines anymore. So I'm gonna give it a coat of filler primer, and then we'll let it dry and I'll check it out, and hopefully it'll be solid, won't need any more work, and I can just give it some white. Okay, so I finished primering this shin guard. It looks super nice, like very clean. I completely sanded down the wood filler, and now this is 2 coats of the filler primer, 2 like light coats. It's not, I just kind of give it a couple dustings, and now it is perfect. So I'm gonna give it some white right now, and it should be completely done. It looks really good. I'm very happy. So hopefully the white will make it look really good, and this piece will be done. So here, guys, is the final product. It is a beautifully finished, shiny, clean shin piece of armor, guard, whatever. I always want to call it shin guards. I played hockey forever, but it is absolutely perfect, shiny, clean, nice, and finished with literally the most minimal effort. So as you guys can see, it looks absolutely awesome. It is completely ready for me to paint whatever type of trooper I decide to, as soon as I finally decide which one I'm going to paint it as. But I highly suggest this method. It is super easy. It is way cheaper than using like 30 coats of filler primer. It's cheaper than using those little tubes of air dry Bondo, and it's not Bondo, so you don't have to mix it, and it's water soluble, so it's an easy cleanup. So I highly recommend it. It turned out really good for me. But that is all I have to share with you guys today. So if you like this kind of content, definitely think about giving it a like. And if you haven't already joined us, subscribe to the channel. Other than that, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at K2ProductionsYT if you want some extra content or behind the scenes, see what's going on in the shop and stuff like that. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time here in the shop. Stay safe, have fun, and get out and make something.